Hey class, it's Ashley. I'm back for another mentor moment, and you all voted for me to talk about how to use skill articulation to transition careers. So I'm here to host a really amazing live to talk to you about how to use this strategy that I teach in my programs called skill articulation to help you transition between and among careers. Lots of professional women come to me and want to transition careers. Maybe you're looking to go from education to tech, or maybe you're looking to transition from healthcare to finance, or maybe you're looking to transition from, the legal profession into, I have mentees transition from legal to hospitality and things like that. And so we want to really think about, what does it take for us to transition careers? And a lot of times what I hear from professional women is that I need another degree. I need another credential. I need another certification. I need to get my foot in the door so that I can actually transition careers, right? I need to start at a low level. I guess I got to take this low paying job, this low impact job, so I can make the transition until I can, work my way up to actually see a higher level role. And that is flat out false. That is flat out bad information, and it's not accurate for today's, fast-paced contemporary 2022 career landscape, right? So perhaps in the 80s and 90s, you had to take an entry-level role and get your foot in the door and work your way up until you could advance your career. But today, you can use the skills, the knowledge, the talent, the expertise that you already have to actually position yourself as a top candidate for high-level, high-paying roles in a new industry, right? And the way that you do that is through what's called skill articulation. This is a strategy that I teach across my mentorship programs. I'm going to talk to you about how to transition industries using skill articulation because I think that this strategy is really a hidden gem when it comes to helping women use what they have to get what they want in their career. And I want to make sure that more women know about this strategy. So and I'd love to know, if you're attending today's live, just type in the chat, if you're a career transitioner, just say me in the chat, raise your hand in the chat, me, I'm looking to transition careers. And then let me know what industries you're looking to transition. Maybe you're in education right now and you want to transition to tech. Maybe right now you work in corporate and you actually want to transition to education. Maybe you work in politics and you want to transition to the medical field. So let me know, if that's you, if you are a person who's looking to transition careers right now, and let me know the transition you hope to make, right? That'll help me make sure that when I'm talking in today's live, I can use real world examples to actually help you think about your transition plan as, we talked in today's live. So just let me know if you're a career transitioner and what industries you're looking to, transition into. And if you're unsure, that's fine. You can just say, I'm looking to transition, but I'm not sure exactly where I'm going. Ashley, that's why I'm here. And that's fine. I'll walk you through how to make that transition. So the strategy that I teach in Mentor Me programs is a framework that is really focused. It's called Career Area of Impact. So, or CAI, So Career Area of Impact. CAI. And this strategy makes sure that my mentees are very specifically thinking about the industries, the impact areas, the functional areas, and the position titles that they should be seeking at this stage in their career. So again, we want to be very focused on the industry, the impact area, the functional area, and the position title that you should be seeking at this stage in your career to have a successful career transition. Often when we think about career transitions, we're like, oh, I heard this industry making money, so I'm gonna go over here. Or, oh, I heard these people, they got a good job over here. They got good benefits, so I'm gonna go over here. Or, oh, I heard you can work from home if you work in this industry, so I'm gonna shift over here. Too often when we're planning career transitions, we're just chasing money or chasing, somebody putting us on or chasing an opportunity. And we're not really thinking intentionally about what we desire in our career. And so as a mentor, my job is to help my mentees and the women that I work with have a very intentional career strategy, because that's the only way that you're going to see accelerated results in your career. often before working with me, women are like, I've been applying for hundreds of jobs. I've been putting myself out there. I've been networking and nothing's working, right? Nothing's working for me to see success in my career. And the primary reason is because women have no strategy when it comes to their career development. They're just putting themselves out there. They're just networking. They're just waiting for somebody to put them on, but they don't actually have a strategy that's yielding results in their job search. And so my job as a mentor is to actually help you have that strategy. And strategy is particularly critical when you're transitioning industries, right? It can be a lot easier to just move up in your current organization or move up in your current industry. But when you're looking to make a major shift, maybe you're moving from healthcare to tech, or maybe you're moving from the legal profession to education, you need to have a much more strategic approach to your career transition. And I teach women how to do that using a strategy called skill articulation. When it comes to you preparing for a career transition, whatever kind of transition you're trying to make from industry to industry, you need to make sure that you're focused on not only the industry, but the impact area, the functional area, and the position title that you should be seeking at this stage in your career. And so what I often see is that, women are kind of scrambling. Like when it comes to a career transition, they're chasing money, they're chasing an opportunity, they're chasing somebody putting them on, but they don't have very clear strategy in making the transition. So what we're going to do today is to really talk through what that framework should look like, what the strategy should look like for you to make that transition. Again, at my masterclass on Monday, I'm going to teach you how to apply the strategy so that you actually do it in real time. So the first thing that we really want to think about is, what industry are you currently in, right? So just let me know in the comment section what industry you're currently in. Maybe you are in hospitality management right now. Maybe you are in the healthcare industry. Maybe you're in education. Just type in the comment section what industry you're currently working in, and that'll help me give, like I said, some real world examples to the things that I'm sharing today. And I'll start with an example, and as your examples come in, I'll continue to work you through this. So the industry is education, right? That's a broad spec industry, right? So the industry is education. Then we want to move into, and when we think industry, we want to think big, large scale, industry, right? Like you said, healthcare administration, education. When we think about industry, we want to think broadest scope. I think sometimes we either get way too broad or way too narrow when it comes to transitioning industries. So we want to start broad though. This whole process should look like an upside down triangle, right? So when we work on this process, it should look like an upside down triangle. We're starting broad at the top and we're going to get narrow as we go in. So we want to start with education. That is the industry you're currently in. Then we want to start to think about, what industry do we want to transition into, right? So maybe you're currently in education and you want to transition into tech, for example. So you're in education and you want to transition to tech. So we're going to focus on the transition to tech. So the new industry that you will be going into is tech. So technology, right? A broad scope industry. Then you want to narrow down. The next level that you want to narrow down is called impact area, right? So there's the broad spectrum industry. So maybe you're now in education and you want to transition into tech, right? Then we want to focus on impact area. The impact area is, who do you want to impact, right? If you're in education, maybe you work in K through 12, right? So your impact area would be K through 12, right? When you transition into tech, maybe your impact area is product development, right? You want to be responsible for product design and product development, right? And that's the transition you're making. So the industry, again, is education, and K through 12 is the impact area. The industry on the new transition, it's tech and product development, right? So that's the shift that you're making. And I'm using these examples because I've had many mentees make these exact same transitions. So I'm not like making things up here. When I think about this work, I've had many mentees make this very same transition. So this is a common one that my mentees see. So then the next level is functional area. So we have an industry, which is education, then K through 12, and then the functional area for you, Gabby, might be, let's say you work in counseling, right? So you work in education, you work in a K through 12 setting, and the actual functional area, the work that you do in education is counseling and student support, right? In a counseling setting in a school. In the tech space, you might be in tech, you want to do product development, and in the functional area is project management, right? So you want to shift from education and doing, counseling in a school setting to shifting to product development and project management in a tech setting, right? And then the final part of this funnel is called position title. So industry was education, impact area was K through 12, the functional area was counseling and student support, and then maybe the position title that you currently have is school counselor, right? But when you transition to tech, now we're talking about you being in the tech industry, working in product development, working in project manager, and being a senior project manager. Right? So we went from industry to impact area to functional area to position title. And I'm actually going to write it out here so you can see it. Industry, impact area, functional area, position title. And so when you look at it on a chart, you have industry, impact area, functional area, position title. And you can see that triangle is getting more and more narrow as we go in. And the problem is that so many professional women, when they begin a job search, they're like, I want to be a school counselor. I want to be a project manager. I want to be, a manager. I want to be a leader. I want to be the COO. I want to be this. I want to be that. And they're not thinking about the funnel that they need to, the funnel approach to their career development. And this is why you see women applying for hundreds of jobs and getting no callbacks. This is why you see women getting callbacks, but no offers. This is why you see women getting offers, but they're lowball offers. It's because they don't have a strategic approach to their career development. So often when we think about transition industries, the only thing we think about is our new job title. But we're not thinking about the industry, the impact area, the functional area, or the position title that we should be seeking at this stage in our career. And that is a big mistake because it's so much harder to transition careers when you're just looking for a job title. But when you think about the big picture funnel, then you're actually going to see accelerated job growth and job strategy, right? Alrighty, so let's say I have a mentee who currently works, who wants to make a career transition. So the mentee currently works in corporate and they want to transition into healthcare administration. We're going to have healthcare administration be the industry they're transitioning into. So in the corporate space, right, that's the industry, like corporate, right? Like that's the sort of big widespread industry. They currently work in a corporation. And in that corporation, let's just say they work in HR, they work in human resources, right? And then in human resources, they work in training and development, and their job title is training coordinator for new hires, right? Let's just say that that's their funnel. So again, the industry that they're currently in is corporate. Right? The industry that they're currently in is corporate. The impact area is human resources. The functional area is training and development. And they're currently, their job title, the position is a training coordinator, right? So that is the funnel that they are currently in. Right? And again, it's so critical for high achieving professional women to be approaching their career development in a funnel. So again, if you have, let's say we have I have a professional woman, and I can think of many mentees I have like this. Actually, one of my mentees, who just actually secured a new role. Her name's Afisha. She just secured, I think $135,000 salary increase. I was sharing her story in my Instagram stories just the other day. She secured a $35,000 salary increase. Her new salary is, I think $125,000 with like a $10,000 sign-on bonus. So her total new compensation is $135,000. And she made a transition from working in the legal profession to working in corporate. But in this example, we're really going to focus on transitioning from corporate like HR to healthcare administration. So let's walk through this. So again, the industry is going to be corporate. The impact area is going to be human resources. The functional area is going to be training and development. And then the position title is training coordinator. And let's say I'm working with a woman who wants to leverage those existing skills, her existing skills in corporate, her existing skills in HR, to actually transition into a healthcare administration role, right? So in healthcare, the industry is going to be healthcare, right? So the industry, right, for this example, the industry is going to be healthcare. And then the impact area is healthcare administration, right? So you're an administrator who works in healthcare. The functional area, there could be many different functional areas in healthcare administration. Maybe you work in benefits. Maybe you work in patient, onboarding. Maybe you work in billing. Maybe you work in insurance, right? Like there's so many different functional areas that you can work in healthcare administration. And this is why it's critical to have a mentor, because I can really walk you through all of the options that might be available to you in any different industry and any different impact area, so that you're not, oh, well, maybe I should try this. Maybe I should try this. Maybe I should consider this. Maybe I should consider that. That's what leads to an ongoing and forever job search. That's what leads to you applying for hundreds of jobs and getting nowhere. It's because you're just putting yourself out there. You're just casting a wide net. You're just trying to see what's out there. We need to build a strategic approach, because the tighter our funnel, the faster it goes, right? It's like playing darts. The tighter you get in on the dart, the faster it's going to go and the more likely it is to hit the target. If you just throw a handful of darts, like chances are none of them are going to hit the target, right? So we can't be out here just throwing a handful of darts or casting a wide net and just putting ourselves out there. We've got to be really pinpointed, really strategic, really intentional, because that's what's going to yield the best results, right? So again, as we transition from this corporate role in HR to a healthcare administration role, then we're looking at healthcare as the industry. The impact area would be healthcare administration. The functional area, let's say for the purposes of this example, the functional area is going to be like patient intake. And then maybe the new position title that you're looking for is manager of patient intake, right? And so that moves you from a coordinator level role in corporate and HR to a management level role in healthcare administration, right? And just let me know if that was helpful. Again, type in the comment section. Yes, that was helpful. Actually, that makes a lot of sense to me. I really understand, how I need to be more specific in my job search, how I need to be more intentional about the funnel. Like, this makes sense to me. And I'm starting to understand why my job search up to this point has not been successful. So yeah, let me know if any of that's making sense, if that's helpful to you. Cassie, let me know if that's been helpful to you as well. Because this funnel is honestly why my mentees see so much success. I actually think, now these images are so little, so I can barely tell. But yes, one of my mentees is here today. One of my mentees, Madeline, another one of my mentees, because Cassandra is here too. But another one of my mentees, Madeline, is here today. Madeline, I hope since you're here, I'm going to assume it's okay for me to tell your business. I am super excited because my mentee, Madeline, just emailed me to share that she has 2 upcoming interviews. So thrilled for her. She is a professional who actually works in healthcare and healthcare administration and nursing, and has just gone through the Mentor Me Accelerator program and just done some amazing things. Has 2 really exciting upcoming interview offers, both 6-figure offers, I believe. So yes, I'm so glad you're here. Madeline, I don't mean to bust you out, but if you want to hop on this live with me and just share a little bit about your experience in the accelerator, your experience with working with me, if you want to sort of talk about, healthcare and making a transition, in healthcare, just let me know. Type a yes in the chat and I'll invite you into the live. This is totally impromptu. I did not know Madeline was going to be here today, but since she's here, I love going live with my mentees. I love sharing their stories, right, with folks. So you all are in for a treat. Yes, my mentee Madeline, she agreed to join the live. So I am going to invite her into this conversation. Hey. So glad to have her here. Madeline, like I said, is a mentee who works in healthcare administration. She completed the Mentor Me Accelerator program about a month and a half ago or so, and she's an absolute expert. Hello. I'm so thrilled to have you here. She's an absolute expert in healthcare administration, equity and inclusion, and advocacy for diverse populations, particularly underrepresented minorities in the nursing profession. And so I'm so glad that you impromptu joined today's live, and I can invite you into a conversation. So let's chat it up. will you tell the folks, like kind of why you initially, joined the Mentor Me Accelerator and worked with me on your career? I'd love for you to just share a little bit about, where you were when you decided to join the accelerator.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. As Ashley said, my name is Madeline. I have been working in healthcare for the better part of my life
Yes.
in one way or another. And I actually will tell you, I admitted to her that I was following her for 1 year, watching these lives and, things that she was putting out. And for 1 year. And then I finally signed up with her because I was just tired. I was tired of, treading water, trying to get more certifications, more degrees, more responsibilities, trying to get myself noticed. And it just was not working. The strategies that I was using, and I use that term lightly, strategies, right? But when I finally, signed up with Ashley and met the community that she was building, and that is the big thing, it's community. It is a bunch of women that come together and we build each other up and we support each other and we use Ashley's techniques, and you see everyone who has started before you succeed, right? So there's the proof. So it's infectious. You want to do this and you're like, hey, I want this for myself. I am definitely worth this investment, and I'm giving away all of my skills for free. No.
Yes, that part.
So yeah, and it works, everybody. It works if you do it, if you believe in it, if you continue to use it to perfect your craft and selling your craft, right?
Yeah.
Because you know your craft. That's why you're professional. That's why people want to hire you. That's why they want to keep you. Um, but until you know your worth, no one else is going to give it to you. And that is what Ashley in this community has given to me. So
Yeah.
I am forever grateful. I have made some great friends through this community. Like, we still
I
connect, and
love that.
through LinkedIn and Facebook, we're still like, hey girl, congratulations. And so this is long term. So if you are on the fence, don't be foolish like me and wait a year, because that's a year's worth of free stuff that you're giving away, and jump on the bandwagon because you are worth it.
That is so beautiful. You're so kind, Madeline. Thank you so much for sharing your story and like sharing how you use the Mentor Me Accelerator program to really advance your career. And I want to specifically talk about skill articulation, because you said that like I was applying all my own strategies. Like I was like, I was out here trying to network and I was talking to people and I was getting additional certifications and I was going to get another degree and I was doing all of the things that everyone told me I had to do. And then I worked with Ashley and she was like, wait, stop doing all of that. And so can you talk a little bit about the like how I sort of mentor specifically around using the skills you already have to advance your career? Because I think a lot of women are like, wait, I can do that. Like I can use the skills I already have. And that's a brand new and honestly sometimes a hard concept for them to get into. So can you talk a little bit about that and just like how I helped you do that in your own career?
So one thing that I learned with Ashley's guidance is to learn the key words, right? So it makes me laugh because I see every time that you say team player. I mean, come on, being a team player
It's
is
my
played
least
out.
favorite word, Natalie. It's my least favorite word in the English language.
But she teaches you how to use team player and kind of like morph it into terminology that people will take notice, right? So yes, you're a team player, but when you elevate that word, into describing what you do in a way that is much more than an elementary term, right? You learn
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be a team player when you're in grade school and high school, but as professional women, and specifically professional women of color, we need more than being a team player. And so Ashley, you know, it's not that she is she's not reinventing you, but she is making you aware of what you already have, and she gives you the terminology to, have people take notice of the professional that you are.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because I do think sometimes people come to me and they're like, Ashley, teach me how to sell myself. Teach me how to like reinvent myself. And I'm always like, ooh, okay, so first of all, you're not a commodity. Like, so like sell yourself. That makes you a little uncomfortable. I'll teach you how to position yourself as an expert, to position your expertise, to sell that for top dollar. We're talking about 6 figures or more, but you yourself are worthy, right? I'm not, this is not about knowing your worth. This is about, you are worthy. You are inherently worthy. I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. I believe that all of you, each of you who are under the sound of my voice, are worthy, right? So you don't have to try to figure out your worthiness, but I do want you to understand the value of your expertise and how to speak to that in a way that actually is going to make employers take notice. And I think, Madeline, you articulated that so beautifully, because you all do. You have skills. You are a team player. But team player was cute when we were applying for the job at McDonald's. Like, McDonald's wants to know that you're a team player. But when you're applying for a job that wants to pay you $98,000 a year, they're gonna need a little bit more than team player, right? So we've got to step it up. We've got to step up our expertise so that we can actually be positioned in a way that's going to make employers take notice. And so that is truly what I teach my mentees in program, and Madeline is a beautiful example of the outcome of that, right? Because now that you successfully completed the accelerator, you're coming up on 2 offers in higher level management and leadership roles in healthcare administration. I'd love for you to talk a little bit about how I've helped you prepare for these interviews. We did a lot around interview strategy, a lot around salary negotiation, around negotiating the other things that you want in an offer. So can you talk a little bit about how the Mentor Me Accelerator helped you prepare for your upcoming interviews?
So the first thing that resonated during the Mentor Me Accelerator was the conversation that we had around values, right? So making sure that I'm even in the right place. Am I in the right industry?
Yes.
Am I even using my skills for the greater good, right? So, being a nurse, okay, yes, I like taking care of people, but that comes in so many different,
right.
Facets. But that was the first thing, is identifying the values and what's negotiable and what's not negotiable. And then to be able to, identify those skills that are then translatable. I'll never forget the conversation that we had. It was during a session where you said, that job posting is everything that is wrong with, with their job. That's what they need fixed.
Yeah.
So you identify what it is that your skill set, has to be able to fulfill that need. And then again, you are strategic in the words that you use. You are strategic in researching the type of interview questions that certain industries will utilize. Then you have to take what you know about yourself, what you know they're trying to fix, and then you come together with a nice little package.
Yes.
Right? So another thing that I've learned is never sell yourself short when it comes to negotiations.
Yes.
They have the need. You are there to fulfill that need.
Yep.
And so if they're even wondering, or if they're even contemplating making you a part of their team, you got it.
Yep.
You got what they need.
Yeah.
But it's a business. So it's, they're going to be frugal. You have to tell them, no. If you think I am worth the offer, then my skill is worth more than what you are, willing
absolutely.
to give me. And so it's a give and take.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the things, what Madeline is articulating is this thing I call the problem solver positioning. So often we're like, please take me. I need a job. Please hire me. I want help. And employers They have problems. You all are problem solvers. Madeline is a problem solver. Cassandra is a problem solver. Vanya, you're a problem solver. Mahogany Noor, you're a problem solver. You all, Cookie, you're a problem solver. The employer is looking for you. So all you have to do is position yourself as a problem solver that can solve their problems. And moreover, that you have demonstrated experience in solving similar problems over the course of your career. Right. And so instead of going into the employer, oh, I hope you hire me. I'm really creative. I'm a team player. I'm a hard worker. I try my best. It's like, why are you begging them? They're the ones who need somebody to do this work. Have you not heard of the Great Resignation? That none of these employers have employees. They need you. They need you. And so we want to position as the experts that we are. And so often we're afraid of that because, we just hope, pray that they hire us, but we need to elevate our positioning, honey. It's time to elevate our positioning because because the employer needs us, and it's not haughty, it's not ego, it's honest. It's just an honest supply and demand. The supply is high, the demand is not. So you have to, or excuse me, I think it's the other way around. The supply is high, but you know what I'm saying. Basically, they need you. So you want to position like that. You want to position as someone who can solve their problems. And Madeline, you are such a perfect example of that because you have decades of experience in nursing and healthcare administration. You have demonstrated expertise in the industry. You have degrees, credentials, certifications, knowledge in the industry, and you are being paid significantly less than you should be at this stage in your career. And so through the accelerator, I was really pulling that out of you. How can we better position? Mm-hmm. How can we do it with integrity? How can we do it in a way that's clear, confident, and concise? How can we package it? We worked a lot on packaging for you because like Madeline, so many of you all already have the goods. You have the goods. It's about packaging, and that's what I'm an expert in. So Madeline, I know you went through the Mentor Me Accelerator, but on Monday, I'm hosting a special masterclass. It's a 2-hour masterclass specifically on skill articulation. So I know that you haven't gone through the specific masterclass. You went through my entire program. But for the woman who's never maybe worked with me and kind of wants to dip her toe in, do you think that the masterclass might be a good fit for her if I am specifically focusing on skill articulation?
Absolutely. For people who may still be on the fence, because it is an investment. Yes, and I know that everyone is at different points, in their lives and different responsibilities. But I think, if you want to start somewhere, skill articulation, I think, is key, right? Before you get to anything else, because if you don't realize and you don't recognize the skills that you currently have, then there's no way that you can speak to them. And if you cannot speak to them, you can forget about the job offer. You can forget about the negotiation because you won't get to that point. Mm-hmm. So skill articulation, I think, is key. And the neat thing about Ashley is that she actually gives you a graph. So if you need to go back and, and you need to refresh, or as you grow, what I was when I first started the accelerator program, I think I've grown by leaps and bounds, and I find myself articulating my skills, articulating the work that my colleagues and I do in this role, utilizing the terms and skills that Ashley has taught. So at the very least, invest in yourself, using the skill articulation. And one thing I want to say is that women, right, especially women of color, we have gone through decades of people telling us that we are not worthy, that we are less than, and we should be happy that we're even allowed, right? Mm-hmm. No, those days are gone. You're not allowing me to do anything. I have the skills. I have invested in myself. If you want a return on investment, you need to pay me.
Yep, flat out, period. With a T. Yeah. And I, one of the things that, when I talk about money with women, I have a graphic that I'm going to do later this month. And it's like, maybe it's not the money for you. Maybe it's, maybe it's a higher level of leadership. Maybe it's more impact. Maybe it's a more flexible schedule. Maybe it's not the money, but you can get the money and that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think sometimes we take the Mother Teresa approach to our career. We're like, I just want to help people. Don't pay me anything. I'm fine with living in objective poverty. Like, we can have money and be good people and help people, and like all of that is available. You can be an outstanding and nursing administrator and be paid well for it. Like both are available to you, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm so grateful, Madeline, that you jumped on today's live. This was so much fun. I like love that I had the opportunity to connect with you. I'm excited to support you as you prepare for your upcoming interviews. And just let me know how I can support you in that. And as Madeline shared, the Mentor Me skill articulation lab that I'm hosting on Monday is a great way for you to dip your toe into expert level mentorship and for you to really have some one-on-one FaceTime with me to really work through how to speak to your expertise in a way that will make employers take notice. The link to grab your ticket for the masterclass is down below. It's all right on my website at mentor-me.org/education. If you go to the link in my bio, it's at the top of my webpage, so you will not miss it. And please do grab your ticket today. I want to make sure that you are in the room. Madeline, do you want to close off with anything that you want to share? Any sort of final words of wisdom that you want to wrap us up with?
Yeah, I definitely want to speak to those of you who maybe are new, who are on the fence. Please don't be afraid. I mean, because fear is definitely your enemy, and uncertainty is your enemy. And until you are in a group or in a room, you know, with a bunch of women who want the best for you, you are going to continue to be afraid. You are going to continue to not excel, and you're going to continue to be underpaid or not have your dream job. And so I really want to encourage you to start somewhere. And if this class on Monday is your start, I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
Thank you.
Be a different person once Ashley gets through with you.
Right. Listen, it's giving transformation over here. It's giving complete and total transformation. This was a joy to me. I'm so grateful for you, Madeline. I am your mentor forever. I always tell my mentees, I'm not just your mentor in session, I'm your mentor always. I mean that when I talk about like working with women, like I'm not going anywhere, girl. So let's start that relationship on Monday. If you haven't already worked with me, for those of you who are already in my programs, the link is in the portal, so you already know you can get on board. And if you've already worked with me and you know someone who should be there, please invite them to attend. This is a great opportunity for them to get some expert level mentorship under my leadership. So please invite your circle, drop it in your group chats so that the girls can grab their ticket and be there. I'm excited for it. Hey, Vanya. Really blessed to have Ashley. I'm blessed to have you, Vanya. Welcome. My latest mentee, she just joined the accelerator, or just had her orientation yesterday. So she is on board, and I'm excited to work with her. I'm so thrilled about that. And so thanks so much for joining today's live, everyone. This was freaking amazing. I mean, a full-scale strategy on career area of impact, a full-scale strategy on skill articulation and its value, and a special pop-up and presentation from my mentee, Madeline, to talk about how she's used the Mentor Me Accelerator to completely transform her life and her career. Like, this was jam-packed. And you guys were truly in for a treat if you were able to catch this. If you're watching on replay, type replay here, because I love to know my replay audience, so I can say hi to you girls too. And thanks so much for watching. Talk soon. See you on Monday. Bye.